The following story took place in Oregon on August 19th, 2013.
Here I am and I'll take my time. Here I am and I'll wait in line away.
You're looking at video of a Valley teen taken right before he mysteriously vanished.
18-year-old Jonathan Kroom. He recorded the clip while on a road trip in the Pacific Northwest.
And he's supposed to start school Monday in Mesa here in the Valley. But this morning his parents got a knock on the door from police telling them his car had been found in rural Oregon.
ABC 15's Nohelani Graff spoke with Kroom's father. Nohelani, he looks like a happy guy. Do they have any idea what went wrong here?
No, his dad tells me Jonathan is happy, adventurous, just moved out of their Apache Junction home with his brother and enjoying his newfound freedom as an adult. He is 18. In fact, he took off on this road trip and didn't tell his parents about it. They are now worried his want to explore may have gotten him in trouble. And now Dad is in Oregon looking for his own answers. Recording a selfie with his phone, singing along on the open road from Washington. A fun-loving guy. That's just who David Kroom says his son is. But this video is where Jonathan's journey seems to end. He worries his son's sense of adventure got the best of him.
He had been watching a video about the Into the Wild and really started getting fascinated with it.
He hasn't responded to texts or calls since August 18th.
I don't think we've heard from him, so I told him I need to hear your voice because I think something's wrong.
David's instincts were dead on. Police showed up with news. Jonathan's car had been found not far off the interstate near the tiny town of Riddle, Oregon. His ID, money, and phone all inside. David immediately hopped a plane to see for himself.
It hit me as soon as he told me everything was in the car. I mean, I was just shattered, terrified.
The Oregon wilderness can be unforgiving.
That's pretty rough terrain, I'm telling you.
David can only hope if Jonathan was testing his survival skills, that's exactly what he does.
Whether he decided to enact this video or if he just went for a walk, pulled off on the side of the road, and something happened, we can't figure it out. We don't know where he's at. No one knows.
The local sheriff's office tells me search and rescue volunteers will do a bigger search this weekend. David is making flyers and plans to offer a reward. Meantime, Steve, he says Jonathan's older brother is heartbroken. He's now staying with their parents because he just can't seem to function while his brother is missing.
He apparently picked up this obsession or extreme interest in this movie and the story 6 to 8 months ago, and he keeps watching the movie. He's been watching it with others and just thinking it was a great idea. He's always wanted to go out camping, but just recently he had a breakup with a girlfriend. He was heartbroken. He went out to visit a friend in Washington. They watched it again, and they began to romanticize this entire idea, not realizing that the movie had a bad end. And that's been my concern about the whole thing, that people tend to think it's romantic to go out and do that or fun, but they don't realize that at the end of the movie, that guy didn't make it. And that's been my concern the whole time about this. If that's what he's reenacting, I want to interject in this and get involved. In the movie, nobody got involved and looked for him. And so that's why we're out looking for Jonathan, because we want to change this story and have a happy ending.
David Kroom is more than 1,000 miles from home, frantically searching the Oregon wilderness for his 18-year-old son, Jonathan. He's been missing for nearly a week, but police believe he may not want to be found.
I've never felt a fear like this. This is unexplainable.
Kroom says his son vanished just after setting out on a long road trip home to Arizona from Washington State, where he'd been visiting a friend. That friend is the last person to hear from him. Jonathan sent a text message where he talked about going, quote, on an adventure.
She says, I hope you enjoy your adventure. Hello, Jonathan, are you there? It's the last time.
David now fears that adventure may have been inspired by the 2007 film Into the Wild, about a young hiker seeking isolation in the Alaskan wilderness.
We're talking about a kid that has been almost obsessed with this particular movie. My concern is that he's out there with very limited resources and not a lot of experience.
On Wednesday, police found Jonathan's car abandoned in rural Oregon. Inside, his ID, wallet, $200 cash, and a book on outdoor survival tactics.
Just as in that movie, he left everything behind and took off. And we just don't know what he left with.
Today, Jonathan's father was back in the wild searching for his son and says he isn't leaving until he finds him.
And now to a sad follow-up on a story that we told you about yesterday morning. The body of 18-year-old Arizona native Jonathan Kroom has been found in the woods of southern Oregon. Police are investigating his death as a suicide. Kroom had talked to his parents and others about the book Into the Wild and about his desire to run away. His dad says Kroom was grieving the end of a recent relationship, and he says his son had a broken heart.
One of the parents dropped off Abby and Libby, best friends, to go on a walk in the trail there by the Monon railroad tracks that have been abandoned and over the high bridge there. And the plan was to drop them off and pick them up later. And they did not arrive at the appointed time. And, initially, okay, maybe they're just having a good time out, going to be a little late. But then it goes from being just a little bit late to hours late into darkness. And now true concern about what's happened, what's transpired.
Story tonight, 2 Carroll County girls have gone missing near the Monon High Bridge Trail in Delphi. News 18's Alexis Moberger joins us live and reports how several law enforcement agencies are looking for them. Alexis.
Brittany, the 2 13-year-old girls went missing hours ago and were told they haven't been answering their phones ever since. The Carroll County Sheriff's Office say the girls were last seen around 1 o'clock this afternoon near the Monon High Bridge Trail. Liberty, or Libby German, and Abigail Williams were dropped off by a family member. When she came back to pick them up around the arranged time, they never showed up. The Sheriff's Office was then notified around 5:30 tonight, and right now several deputies are out looking for the 2 girls and are even using drones to help locate them. We're also told that DNR is out by the water searching and trying to locate the girls as well.
Indiana authorities have launched a double homicide investigation after 2 missing teen girls are found dead.
Potential new clues are emerging in the hunt for the killer of those 2 teenage girls in Indiana. This grainy image of the suspect was recorded by 14-year-old Liberty German on her cell phone before she was murdered, along with the haunting audio of the killer's voice.
He's about 6 foot, 200, 210, 190, that kind of area.
Inside Edition asked former New York homicide detective Sergeant Joe Giacalone to study the photo.
He's got a lot of brown hair, I think it looks like, or he might even have a mullet. You can see on the side over here, but he might have a goatee or a beard or mustache. He's got this thick blue jacket on and his blue jeans and his brown, walking boots or trail boots.
There also appears to be a bulge in the suspect's right-hand jacket pocket where he may have concealed a weapon.
I think he's armed with a weapon because he was able to control 2 people. I mean, it's very difficult to control 2 people without a weapon.
Unfortunately, there is concern that the photo cannot be digitally enhanced to get a clearer picture of the suspect, says facial recognition expert Tom Joyce.
The investigators will still go over that image in quite detail to try and identify maybe shoe type, shoe brand, the jeans, pants, jacket, any for logos, any type of brand. And then the surrounding areas, if there's anything else in that image that might generate itself and present itself as a lead for the investigation.
And this is just released video of the 2 girls laughing and giggling together from their Instagram account, a stark contrast with this disturbing image. And could there be a tantalizing clue in this poignant last photograph taken of 13-year-old Abigail Williams by her best friend? Look, in the distance, some see a shadowy figure. Is that the killer stalking the girls? Investigators are still combing through the wooded areas surrounding the trails, looking for any clue that could lead them to a potential suspect. The general public's doing their part too, with more than 4,000 calls and emails registered to the national tip line. Inside Edition flew a drone above the crime scene. It shows the trestle bridge where the girls were confronted by the killer. Look at the vast expanse of land without a human in sight. Police believe the killer or killers may even have been camping in these woods. You can see how isolated the area is, perfect cover for a predator.